In the past 15 seasons, NASCAR has had a plethora of different types of point systems, but one hypothetical point system that I have never seen ever be brought up in this community is what if NASCAR had F1 standings. Before we get into the nitty gritty, a huge shout out to Jacob for sending me the point spreadsheets from each season. The very basis of this series is based off of his spreadsheets, and it wouldn't be possible without him. And for that, thank you again. The point system is simple. You gotta go for the victory, or at least get a top 10. No extra bonus points either. It's all about where you finish. We'll be breaking down the 2014 season into quarters, giving you a detailed story on how the season would actually play out. To win the Cup Series title in this points format, you have to be either perfect or damn near. Now more than ever before, winning means everything.
Less than a mile to go.
Oh, we got a wreck.
Third generation star Dale Earnhardt Jr. brings him to the flag. Checkered flag waving. It's over. It's Earnhardt.
Oh, yeah. Good job, Junebug. Woo.
All right, which lane? Keselowski comes off the corner. Hole in one for the captain. Checkered flag for Keselowski. Here we go.
Through the middle.
Kyle Busch looked at the middle, now looks to the
Here
bottom.
comes Larson off turn 2. Larson's got to run down the back.
Can he win 2 days in a row?
The rookie.
Can he battle Kyle Busch 2 days in a row?
He battled him yesterday and beat him.
Here he comes. Diving to the inside. Kyle took the block. He blocked him.
It's the Kyle and Kyle show off turn 4.
How many times we seen this? This is like 4 or 5 times these two guys have battled each other for the victory.
Busch the veteran, Larson the rookie. Kyle Busch wins California.
Woo! 2 years in a row for Kyle.
Almost got in too deep. He's going to pay the price.
Whoa, hang on to her, buddy. That 2 car was all over the place.
He almost got turned around as his teammate Logano guns for the lead and takes Gordon with him.
Logano goes to the lead.
Logano, the kid from Connecticut, comes from 4th on the final restart, and he is going to win the Battle of Richmond.
Yeah, baby.
A third of a second.
Great effort.
Jeff Gordon off turn 4, win number 89 for Jeff Gordon by 2 car lengths over Kevin Harvick.
The top 4 is a pair of two tales. On one hand, you have Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon off to their best start in years. Dale Jr. in the first 3 races had 3 straight finishes of either first or second, while Jeff Gordon was able to catch on towards the end of the first quarter. On the other hand, the Penske duo of Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski seemed to be taking the sport by storm as well. Both were able to prove early on that perhaps they were worthy opponents for the Cup Series title. Team Penske had the most wins in quarter 1 with 3 combined, while Kyle Busch and Joe Gibbs were clinging on to 5th.
Single filing it down the back straightaway. One battle toward the back. Marcus Ambrose, Jeff Gordon for 15. Out of turn 4, Jimmy Johnson, the low Chevrolet, scores its 68th Sprint Cup win in the FedEx 400.
Not won a race this season, and Brad Keselowski is off the pace, and there goes Dale Jr. The 88 is out front at POCONO with less than 5 to go.
Now, did the 2 get off the pace, or did something happen when they run up on lap traffic?
I'm going to say he got off the pace. I would take that chance to get back behind the 88, blow my grill off. Now I got 3 laps at least to get the win back.
3-2 now. Yeah, but now he's got to run that 88 down and get close enough to knock it off.
I bet he does.
Off of turn 3 for the final time.
You got it, bud.
He won the season opener at Daytona. Second checkered flag of the year for Dale Jr. at Pocono.
Good job. Awesome car.
And they haven't won 4 in a row since all the way back in 2001.
I don't know how they're not wrecking behind him right now.
And 2 of those victories going to belong to Brad Keselowski. He dominates again.
Thank you for services. Thank you very much, Paul. You're spoiling me.
First career win for Brad Keselowski here at New Hampshire.
He won the first one in 1994. 20 years later, he wins the 21st. Checkered flag in the Brickyard 400 to Jeff Gordon.
By the time we reach the halfway point, not only is it 2 Hendrick Motorsports teams in the running, but now 3 sit inside the top 4. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is without a doubt the favorite at this point, but Jimmie Johnson and Jeff Gordon are sitting 2nd and 4th just on his heels. While Brad Keselowski continues to have a spectacular season, Kevin Harvick, in his first year with Stewart-Haas Racing, is able to prove his worth as he's able to get inside the top 5 just at quarter 2. By the time we reach quarter 3 of the season, 2 clear favorites are beginning to emerge in the championship.
Riding momentum and confidence and all believing in each other and pulling the rope in the same direction. On display week after week with this 24. Remember, they were dominant last week at Watkins Glen for a while. Had an electrical problem, took him out of the race. They came back and have been so strong here at Michigan today. Checkered flag is up, and his 3rd win of the season for the 4-time champion. Final half a lap for Brad Keselowski. He will have led 383 of 400 laps, becomes the leading winner of this season. 4th victory of the year for Brad Keselowski.
With 9 races left in the season, 2 clear favorites have emerged in Brad Keselowski and Jeff Gordon. Despite Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s dominance throughout most of the season, by the time season's end is coming around, he just isn't able to keep up with these 2. To put it simply, the 2 and the 24 have kicked it up a notch. In the final 2 races of the 3rd quarter, Keselowski won at Chicagoland and Gordon won at Dover to confirm that these 2 are the real championship favorites. From this point on, it is Brad Keselowski and Jeff Gordon fighting for the title. Nobody else. Since we have an idea of who the top 2 already is, we might as well go through positions 3rd through 10th. Kevin Harvick put in a terrific end to the 2014 season as he was able to edge out Joey Logano for 3rd in the championship by just 7 points. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who had been the championship favorite throughout most of the season, was at least able to score a top 5 in points, followed by Johnson in 6th, Kenseth in 7th, Kyle Busch in 8th, and Denny Hamlin in 9th. But none of them would steal the show like rookie sensation Kyle Larson would do. For the majority of the 2014 season, the target 42 was irrelevant. However, the second half of the season saw Larson score points in 10 of the final 18 races. The most notable finish was the 3rd at Chicagoland while battling with the 2 championship contenders. Meanwhile, the championship battle took an unusual turn. For some reason, Brad Keselowski just continued to drive in over his head from time to time. I understand aggressive racing, but come on, these type of antics going on after the checkered flag has waved are unusual of a worthy championship contender. We all know Keselowski from time to time races with a giant chip on his shoulder, showing 100% intensity while inside the race car. But at this point in the season, you're not racing everyone else. You're racing Jeff Gordon for the championship. At this point, it's safe to say the majority of the fan base and even the garage area wouldn't mind seeing Gordon win the title. But it's still a title fight to the very end, with Jeff Gordon leading Brad Keselowski by 6 points with just 3 races remaining.
Ready to race at Texas. Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon on the front row, bring him to the green.
With Brad Keselowski starting 26th, he was obviously way outside the points. Throughout the race, they're able to adjust on the car, and the speed is clearly there, But despite having some speed, he ran into some trouble with Jeff Gordon's teammate Casey Kane later on in the race. Despite having right side damage, the speed is clearly still there, and by lap 200, Keselowski is at least able to sniff the points. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon has been calm, cool, and collected throughout most of this race, running inside the top 5. Eventually, Keselowski would make his way inside the top 5, and pretty soon, the 24 and the 2 would duke it out.
With those extra laps on the tires, if he can hold on for about 10 or 15 laps here, even if Gordon passes him, hold on to second or third, this will turn out to be a huge advantage, this Coliseum.
You drive away by 2. He comes back to the center when he runs that middle lane, and by 1, he has momentum. He'll be in line tight. Bottom lane inside.
That momentary battle would soon be forgotten, as it was looking like Jeff Gordon had this race in the bag, but a late race caution from Clint Bowyer with less than 5 laps to go would change everything. Despite the caution, Jeff Gordon and Alan Gustafson remain calm, cool, and collected, and get ready for the final restart.
Contact Gordon and Keselowski.
Coming outside also.
Keselowski to the outside of Johnson for the race lead.
All clear.
Jeff Gordon may have a flat tire. Yeah, he does.
Gordon spinning, turn 4.
We're spinning
Caution
here.
is out. We'll have another attempt at a green light checker.
Sometimes in life, the good guys really do finish last. Keselowski would go on to score a 3rd place finish while Jeff Gordon was out of the points entirely. Jeff Gordon then confronted Keselowski after the race, but after he brushed it off, Gordon and the 24 team were obviously irate, as the 2 and the 22 teams not only duked it out on the track, but after the race as well. The outcome of that contact was huge, not only from the fight's perspective, but from the points perspective as well. With just 2 races remaining, Jeff Gordon now sat 21 points behind Keselowski. With a 3rd place finish at Phoenix, he was able to bridge the gap to 14 points by the time we reached Homestead, but in the end, it wasn't enough. Keselowski was able to secure top 5s with a 3rd at Phoenix and a 4th place finish at Homestead to clinch the 2014 Cup Series title. The final points tally, Keselowski 332, while Gordon had 315, a 17-point difference. Despite all the antics, and despite all the criticism he was getting from the garage area and the fan base, Keselowski weathered the storm and took home the championship. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.